Welcome back to Brand Girl Finance. On today's video, I am excited to say that I've made it to 1 year of being a homeowner. I bought my home in March of 2022 on the 31st, and today is March 31st, 2023. I've made 12 payments of mortgage payments, and I have a lot of updates and news to share. Now, first things first, there's some things that I've really learned about being a homeowner that was never told to me. And you would think that the amount of times real estate agents or mortgage loan officers or lawyers have put their people into homes, they would try to tip you and give you this information, but I just had to learn on my own. To begin, I feel like I gotta tell y'all a little bit about how my home buying process went. I did do a home buying video and I generalized the home buying process, but I never said how mine went, okay? Now, when I bought this house, there were homeowners in this house, and it was about a family of 6 or 7. And apparently, they never told me about the contingency that the house will only be sold if they found a new house. So I got excited about this house thinking, oh, I'm gonna move in on March 31st. I did not move in on the 31st. I moved in on June 1st, but I closed on March 31st. So my initial tip would be to be sure that you are buying something that you can move into right away. Most people can move into right away, but in my case, and especially in the New York tri-state area, you are going to have homes where the seller is selling, but they have renters, especially over here. There's a lot of renting going on. And then also I want to say the previous homeowners were an extreme nightmare, because even after they left, they just felt so entitled and obligated to my time that they was like, can you watch out for my mail? Can you make sure you hold our mail? Da, 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 da. And they like literally did not come for anything that they asked me to hold for like months. They asked me to hold a plant. And they was like, oh, do you still have our plant by September? No, I don't have that plant. That plant, it has died and it's went to the trash. Like, just things where I felt like I had to put my foot down. Like, stop calling me. You guys don't own this home anymore. So one thing I learned is understanding property taxes, where the money goes to, and when the assessments are done. My tip to you all is that you really truly want to know when property tax assessments are due again before you purchase the home. The reason why is because the last property tax assessment that was done on this house was 5 years ago. That meant that a new property tax assessment was due to happen when I became a homeowner. So less than 4 months into being into the house, I got a new property tax assessment, which meant that my mortgage is likely to go up in the next 6 months or so. And so me thinking that I'm going to be good with this mortgage and I'm going to be good with it for a while was not the case. So I would advise every new homeowner out there, before you buy the house, definitely ask the question, when was the last property tax assessment on the home? So you can have an idea about how long you're going to be able to keep the mortgage that you close with, and how soon will you need to cough up some extra money for higher taxes in the future. Another thing I learned is that it's really important to show up to council meetings as much as you can go. Usually they're downtown at your city hall or your court hearing hall or municipal court of some type of whatever. They do vote on when they're going to raise property taxes, and because I missed that hearing just trying to move in and stuff, I wasn't aware. And so property taxes are not going up exactly right away, but going to those court meetings help you understand what they're doing with the property taxes, what community things they're about to build, what they're signing off of, and you have a voice to say, no, I don't agree with it, yes, I agree with it. Usually they still do what they want to do, but you can still stick it to your councilman and just really be active. I would also say a big thing is knowing how much money you need to purchase furniture. That is the part that killed me. I just felt like I didn't have enough. Like, I already barely had enough for the house, and I already barely had enough for the clothing and all this stuff. And to get here and struggle to buy furniture, it was a lot. Like, I finally furnished the office. Also, research basic maintenance. How much would it cost to have somebody mow your lawn, or is it cheaper to do it yourself and just buy your own machine? Leaves. Whew. When the leaves started falling in November, I was pissed because the cleanup was brutal. It took me hours. Okay, so there are a few things that I wish. I did more bank shopping. I told you all my interest rate, which was 3.25. I told you all how much money I put down in my home ownership video, home process video, which was about, I saved about 50,000, but I only put down like, I only ended up spending about 28,000 of it, close to 30,000. Let's just say 30,000. I wish I would have done a little bit more bank shopping at the time, because during the time that I was going through the process, it was right before the inflation. It was like literally right at the week that the inflation started. And what I could have done is I could have sought out one more bank and just checked to see if there were other lower rates. And I'm really, really pissed that my interest is higher than my principal. That makes it take forever to pay off the loan, and I hate the ideology behind it, and I hate that we live in a world, in a system where they will allow such robbery. Update, I tried to contact NACA and see if they could help me renegotiate interest, and they pretty much told me they couldn't help me. They verbatim said that their website is a little bit misleading when it comes to helping someone get a refinance. They don't do refinances, they just put a package together and submit it to your lender. And so they specifically said that they aren't able to help me get a lower interest rate because the rates are much higher than 3.25 at the moment. But also, they are only eligible to do it for people who like lost their job or something, not just people who want to lower their interest rate altogether. I'm pretty much going to have to stay with this bank until the rates drop, and then at that point I can refinance. But I just found out that if you refinance, all the closing costs you have to pay all over again. I wish I would have looked a tad bit longer, that's all. I see why people have 20% saved, because at that point, like, you don't have to put down 20% anymore in these days. But if you have 20%, you can put down 3.5, and then you can use the rest to like possibly put down more on the loan. I wish I had like a lump sum of money to just pay every year on the loan. And another thing, I wish I had a husband. I think home ownership is great. I think, you know, all the girlies out there on YouTube who are buying homes in their 20s, especially those early 20s, 21, 22, 23, I see a lot of videos like that. You know, I closed when I was 26, so that's sort of kind of like mid-20s, and I'm very proud of myself for that. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to do this process again alone. I would like to do this process with a man in my life, because if property taxes go up, like, it's gonna be hard for me. It's gonna be harder for me. It's already hard for me. I'm already a hustler. I work full time. It's gonna be hard. And so, you know, having a man to help you out with the maintenance of the house and the cost of the house, I think is really important. And I think it's made me realize that I need to emphasize that to my child when she becomes of age. I need to emphasize a team, like, and I don't think enough of us do it. I think a lot of us like that independent trope, and I've turned into a very dependent girl.